All right, then. Takes us to our next story. You know, let us state that rising violence is a global issue affecting various regions and driven by political instability, armed conflicts, and economic hardship. Islamic leaders, led by the Sultan, and political leaders in northern Nigeria have weighed in on the worsening insecurity across the country, warning that our country risks descending into chaos unless decisive action was taken. Now, at a special summit of northern ulamas at Kaduna, the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar III, represented by the Emir of Zazzau, Ambassador Ahmed Bamali, said it was time for Muslim leaders to unite and address the misuse of the social media and rising insecurity threatening national peace. A stitch in time, we're told, saves nine, Mayor.
I agree with that. The level of insecurity in the northern part of the country is unacceptable.
Yeah.
And religion,
especially in a peacetime.
Yes, and religion is a very powerful tool in the north. So if the ulamas decides to meet with the elites, with the leaders, it's a way to go. Yeah. Because the ulamas, they have influence on a lot of people. They are the ones that lead Jumat in mosques, and so they are very influential. And we have to look at the problem that we are having, especially in the northwest, when it comes to banditry, has to do with the fallout of what the imperialists did in Libya. You know, because Libya was a very strong country militarily. So when Gaddafi was struck down, yeah, it became no man's land. So everybody, all different kinds of gangs emerged, and there was so much ammunition that was available to people, and it was that spread to the Sahel region.
So the disruption in Libya,
that is what caused the problem. Yes, that's what caused all the major problem that we're having, because there were a lot of, there was when you remove Gaddafi, there was no strong power to be able to control the country. Yeah. So the country was divided into different gangs, and there were a lot of ammunition. Libya had a lot of ammunition. So they were selling ammunition to anybody that can buy. So and then at that time, there are a lot of people from the Sahel region, especially from Mali, from Burkina Faso, that went to fight in Libya, especially to the Tuaregs. So they came back and turned themselves to marauders with a lot of ammunition. So most of the arms that you find, the professional arms that you find in the West African sub-region, is basically from Libya. So, but it's important for us to, I know that the government is doing their best, but they have to do more, because in a peacetime, the level of insecurity in the country, especially in the northern part of the country, is unacceptable. Yeah. You know, in the northeast, we have terrorists. In the northwest, we have banditry. It's unacceptable. We have to find a way of doing that, because the more we allow it to fester, it can turn to something else. And countries that we have seen that they don't handle their security situation, especially in Africa, they become basket case.
We cannot afford another one here.
Absolutely. I agree with the Sultan in some areas, mainly at least about 90%.
Yeah.
Because he raised three issues: security, unity of the Muslim community, and then the social media as a source of, First of all, one needs to commend them. This is about the third time that leaders in the North are holding meetings to talk about issues that affect them. Traditional rulers are there, they are still governors, House of Assembly. I don't think I've had such a thing in the Southwest here for the past 3 years. If you want to read more about our traditional rulers,
or Southeast,
if you want to read what our traditional rulers are doing, go to the social media. They are either attending one party or the other, marrying new wives, getting some wives divorced, or attacking each other. So I commend the fact that at least the northern leaders are coming together,
lying over their stools.
Yes, I'm talking about issues that they affect. Look at 4 traditional rulers who are killed in Ondo State, Ekiti State. How many traditional rulers visited that place? How many have even made statements about what is going on in Kwara and Kogi State, where there is so much violence and terrorism?
I wonder if you have heard too that there is a new
Wolu.
Oh
yes. So there is an intention to show concern about, and I think that is a great thing. At least your leaders are thinking about the challenges you are having. But, you know, like you raised the issue of security, there's no doubt. Libya, that means that we saw this problem. Libya started in 2010. You know, we saw this problem coming, but we did nothing. 2010 and now, it's a whole long time. I happen to have visited Libya 3 times. And I saw Nigerians, what used to happen in Libya is that if you are going to Europe and you are stranded, you want to cross to Mississippi, they will recruit you
through the Mediterranean.
You pass through Libya to Agadez, Niger, and then end up in Tripoli. Many of them, when they get to Tripoli and Benghazi, they just say, oh, this is a beautiful place. I don't need to go to Europe any longer. So Gaddafi had a program of assimilation. He will bring them in. Some of them will join the Libyan Army, Revolutionary Guard. Yeah. There was a fellow who attended UI who became personal bodyguard of Gaddafi. You know, one of his persons, and not the only person, a Yoruba person. And there are a lot of people who moved from Borno. You know, the old Borno Empire extends to the south of Libya. So a lot of Nigerians even become generals in the Libyan army. So just like he said, when the war broke out in 2010, they needed to go back home. So many of them, the only way they could survive was to survive as mercenaries. And then the crisis in Southern Sudan, where you have
soldiers of fortune.
Yes, millions of Hausa people who are indigenous, even Yoruba people, who used to go to for pilgrimage in those days, and then decided to settle in Sudan. So when the crisis started in Southern Sudan, they moved down. So we saw these problems coming, but we didn't do the right thing. So it's never too late. I like what the Sultan has, you know, come up with, you know, the issue of to preach peace, tolerance, and then national unity. The only thing that I do not agree with him is that they feel concerned about rising violence. No. What we have is violence, but not rising violence. Actually, violence was rising when Buhari was there, to the peak. So what we have now is a slow downwards movement of violence. So to say rising violence is not correct. You know, what the government inherited is a total mess. Yeah. We had a situation where federal government gave the impression that they were empowering, you know, militants, that even scholars were going to the bush to meet with them, to dine with them, you know, that, you know, in Kaduna, 200 armed men invaded airport, nothing happened. Trains were being bombed. So the violence is not rising. You shouldn't use that word, it's to address violence.
Okay.
And I think that what they have done is a good, then on social media, that, you know, we should, yes, but it has to also be done with stakeholders, the NUJ, Nigerian Guild of Editors, because regulating social media should not resort to stifling free speech. So it's something that we need to work together to be able to.
We've been there before.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a company, somebody from Ikorodu joining. Adeyemo is trying to reach us. Brother Adeyemo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon.
Good
afternoon for your team.
Good afternoon.
All right, we greet you.
Thank you very much. The rising of the increase of banditry in the northern part of the country. But I want to put it to you that we are not in this situation by surprise for those who are passionate about one Nigeria. Now I want to put it to you that all the non-state actors put them together, can they match with our own military might? No. I put it to you again that the number of what this is.
Adeyemo, don't put it to us. Just tell us, please.
They cannot defeat the state. Which is not, so what I am trying to say is that if, like I want to say that a leader is a living thing. If we don't take the move by the horn, people are not taking responsibilities. There is no punishment for not any person.
Thank you, Adeyemo. Thank you. At this point, we'll go on another break, commercial break. We should be back. Please don't go away. Thank you. Welcome back, folks. We were talking about the Sultan and Muslim religious leaders weighing in on the insecurity around my country.
Yes, like we
agreed.
Like we said, we agree that it's a good initiative.
Yeah.
There is need for us to think about this insecurity in the north. The ulamas and the traditional rulers have a big role to play because they have a lot of influence within that place. But it's important for the government to do more because the level of insecurity in the north terrorism in the northeast and banditry in the northwest is unacceptable. We have to do more than what we are doing right now.
Because we cannot afford chaos at this time in supposed peacetime.
Sure, the Sultan has a very important role to play.
Yeah.
He is the head of Muslim community, in fact, almost in the entire South Africa. And he's also the head of the Fulani people in the whole of West Africa. So he's a major stakeholder. And I believe he can do a lot. What worries me in the north now is the violent clash between Hausa and Fulani. And I think it's not good for anyone. So I think the Sultan, well, there may be constraints, but I think he can do more. So he needs our support, he needs the support of governors, so that he can use the platforms, the altars of Islam to preach peace, which is actually what Islam stands for.
Yeah.
In the mosques, worship places, and then to be able to engage the actors so that we don't, be able to minimize violence. Because somebody said at that conference.
The Sultan is a retired soldier, so he knows what he is talking about. Because when these arms, free arms, are everywhere, it can lead to the chaos he's talking about.
Yeah. True. That's what we are experiencing.
Yeah.
Like I said, the bandits, it's easier for them to get the arms that they use because there is this arms that seems to everywhere. The entire West African sub-region, there is arms from Mali to Burkina Faso to Niger. They're just arms that...
As one of you said, it's been a long time coming.
Yes.
But we didn't take
are not
heed.
proactive enough.
Yes.
So a stitch in time again saves nine.
Yeah.
All right, to our next